This is from Mike Florio, NBC Sports Pro Football Talk. Brown's interest in signing free agent DeAndre Hopkins as a target for his former quarterback, Deshaun Watson.
But if what he's saying privately to the team matches what he said publicly, and the Browns aren't interested, that's where you say there may be a little pressure point here between Watson and the Browns at a time when it's critical the Browns get more out of Deshaun Watson. Year 2 of a 5-year fully guaranteed contract. And there's not as much pressure on Watson, I think, as there is the people around him. The coaching staff, I think, is under a lot of pressure this year. And if they don't get the most out of Watson this year, there could be a change next year just because ownership will be feeling even more urgent to justify not just the money, but all the draft picks they gave up to get Deshaun Watson. We get so captivated by the 5-year fully guaranteed contract and the problems it caused and the Lamar Jackson angle. We don't think about the 3 first-round picks plus they gave up to get Deshaun Watson. So it was a massive investment. They need a return on it. And if Watson wants Hopkins and no, that to me is significant. We won't know the truth because Watson's not going to come out and say, yeah, I just said those things to be nice. Sometimes you just say what you have to say. You don't say what you truly believe. If he truly believes they could benefit from Hopkins, and if the Browns don't want him, that's the kind of thing that could be a potential problem.
And Ashley, I tend to agree. If Deshaun Watson is saying he will make us better, you got to. They've gone all in with him to the point you got to give him everything you can to make him as successful as possible. So my guess is he isn't saying that behind closed doors.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's everything that you gave up to get Deshaun Watson here in the first place. But I mean, for me, it's like that was almost why I was initially surprised that DeAndre Hopkins wasn't taking like an official visit here. When it came out that he was taking one to the Titans and that there were no plans really right now, at least for him to come and take one in Cleveland. It is kind of surprising, like knowing just the relationship between those two guys. And obviously, Deshaun Watson talked a little bit about him and their relationship at the Browns charity golf outing earlier this, I guess, summer, technically now. And he really just said, I know he got asked, like, oh, have you talked to DeAndre Hopkins about wanting to come here? And he's like, well, like, I always talk to D-Hop. And it's true. Like, they really are. They do kind of seem like they are friends. But I think ultimately, it just has seemed like from Mary Kay Cabot's reporting, my colleague, that it was always kind of like this far-fetched thing. Like, I think maybe DeAndre Hopkins, who knows, maybe he has a certain dollar figure in mind that's just not going to be feasible in Cleveland. And I do think it was nothing when he listed off the 5 quarterbacks he wanted to play with and Deshaun wasn't on that list. Like, I think that was part of it, right? Like, he didn't think it was going to be feasible for him to come here. So I think that's ultimately just like what it might come down to. I don't know that it says a ton about Deshaun Watson's time in Cleveland or anything if he doesn't come here, just because there's always a lot at play with these things. It's always deeper than relationships. There's always the money involved and fit and all those sorts of things.